How are we, guys? Thought I'd do another little quick update because it's been a while. Everything's grown pretty well, so there's a fair bit to show. Backyard's a bit messy at the moment, but I've been doing a bit of cleaning up around the garden, pulling out weeds and grass all amongst the pots. Bit of a change, you probably noticed. My brother's moved out and he's collected all his plants in one area, so all the nectarines are in this patch, which I attempted to grow grass but it failed. Got the pumpkins coming through. These are all just on a drip irrigation, not getting the most sunlight, but they're still doing okay. Marcottes failed. Pretty much all my marcottes have failed. I attempted a marcot on the white mulberry. Don't think it's worked. But yeah, last month pumpkins are just absolutely taken over. Here's one vine. I'll show you a new garden bed I did as well. Got a trellis, beans. This is basically all veggies. Got some silver beet. Nothing too exciting. But I'll take you to the back little orchard area. We'll see what we got. First, I'll do a little update on this area. Got 2 bananas. Fruitopia's recommendation is the Goldfinger, which apparently fruits the best. And I also got a Ladyfinger, because that's all I could find at Bunnings when I initially went there, but it's all really well. That's a new leaf that's come out. Again, the pumpkin taken over. Got the yellow cherry guava, a few roses. Girlfriend likes the roses, so gotta have them. So yeah, 2 banana additions. Very exciting. Oh, and a few passion fruit as well, because I did have the silverberry trellising over, but these are evergreen, so it'd be nice to have a bit more privacy on the fence line. And again, he's got my brother's plants here. He had the sandpaper fig, which is fruiting pretty heavily. The strangler fig, and then all his fig varieties. Got the Bordeaux, then we've got a Celeste, Peconi Black. So I'll be taking a few cuttings off of these once they're ready. Cleaned this area up just before. It was completely overgrown with grass. A lot of the pots were dried out because when I'd water, the water would just drip off from the grass. But yeah, macadamia's copping a bit of a scorching, probably because they weren't watered properly. Also the figs, they got burnt to a crisp because I think I left them unwatered for 2 days, and that's the result. But still, this is the brown turkey. I believe this is also meant to be a brown turkey. This is from Bunnings. They label it as a brown turkey, but my brother told me this. It's actually a fig rootstock. So I've got this and another cutting, which is huge in the garden, and not a single fig. So this, the brown turkey, I think it is, from Bunnings, just a rootstock. We can graft onto it, which is what I'll end up doing. Yeah, so brown turkey labelled as it, but this is actually a brown turkey. Completely different leaves, and obviously the correct one. Hey Larry. 2 of the, I always forget the name of these, but this is one I purchased. This is a cutting that I took. You can see which one's doing better, obviously. And we'll go around here. A little bit of a cleanup. Ended up pulling out that massive salt bush, just to open things up a bit, and a few new additions as well. Picked this up yesterday from Garden World. It is the Carambola Phuang Tung. I think it's gorgeous, the texture of the leaves. So hopefully, I chucked it straight in a massive pot, so hopefully it does alright. A little bit tall, so I might prune it, but it's one new addition. Second new addition is the Peconi Green Fig, a Queensland cultivar, a variety. What else do we got? Oh, the Mexican creams are fruiting surprisingly well considering the small pots. You can see all the fruit basically every guava variety has fruit on it, even this tiny pot, the Malaysian red, has a few fruit on it. And probably the best performer, probably because it's in the biggest pot, we've got the Hawaiian guava, which I've been taking all the small fruit off just so we get some larger ones before the season ends. But it's absolutely loaded. I've also got 2 new editions of the Brazilian custard apple, which is just taken off. It's doing really well. Oh, also another edition, probably one of my more expensive purchases, the custard apple Paxton's Prolific, which probably 3 days ago I put it in the pot, so hopefully we get some shoots off that. Another Hawaiian guava, which I haven't thinned out. Jabatacaba's doing well. Just a random mulberry that popped up. I think I stuck a cutting somewhere and it took off. What else do we have? Potted up the black sapote. Heaps of new healthy growth. And oh, another one. Been on a purchase spree. Arabica coffee. Just in a tiny pot. I didn't have enough soil to pot it too well. And a few stakes for the massive white chatut, which I've actually found roots coming out about 2 meters from this thing, so it's rooted in the ground. It did fall over in a storm, but still got some roots in the ground, so it should do alright. And yeah, and underwatered, I moved this. It was on an angle, so every time I watered it, the water would flow off, so I'll just put this in a better position, so that should do a little bit better. The sunflowers that the possum eats, some left over. This soil just dries out shockingly quick. It's I think we've got this massive, I think it's a cotton Easter tree, but yeah, it just constantly dries out. Put another cutting of the prickly pear, that's it. Prickly pear cutting in there. Again, the possum ate top of my, what have we got, almond. All of the guavas, all the cherry guavas that is. And again, pretty decent harvest considering the tiny pot. So I started to put them in larger pots, so hopefully next year we'll get a better harvest. Even still, plenty to go around. And then quickly before my phone overheats, I'll show you the feijoas sizing up pretty well. About the size of a, I don't know, a large grape. That's one variety. I think a couple of varieties have dropped. We've got another one there on the large oval. We've got here Nozomatsu. Not too many, although the larger Nozomatsu has a few fruit, I think. I don't know where they've gone. That's the white goose. So we're good, I'll be able to get a bit of fruit off each variety. And the, what do we got? Hicks Fancy, all the mulberries. Don't really do too well in pots, they could easily go on the ground. What have we got? Yeah, I potted the red dwarf chatut, I think. Yep, red chatut. Doing well. And the finger lime, which is in the original pot that I got it with, I think. And if I don't prick myself, I'll be able to show you all the fruit. There's at least 6 in there. I want to get a few more varieties of this one. I think this is just the standard green, but you can get red, yellow. Lost the persimmon, the only persimmon I had on this, because it dried out. Again, not a big enough pot. I just ripped this out of the ground before. See, it's just gone straight into the soil, but even with it being in the soil, it always tends to wilt, so I'll probably end up chucking this in the ground somewhere. That's about it for here. I'll show you the pumpkin patch. So as you can see, you can't even see the pots that I had in there. Pumpkins have completely taken over. But we're gonna have a decent pumpkin harvest. We've got one there, a few smaller ones around. This is just shading out all the eggplants, so once the pumpkin's finished, then I'll Should have a good eggplant harvest as well. Another one there. Yeah, just completely taken over the pond. I do have 4 pots there of gooseberries, 2 here. The what is this again? The kiwi berry. Put it in the ground, it just hasn't done much, so that could die, but we'll see. And chuck the barbaco on the ground as well, which it's got full sun here, so I think maybe it needs a bit more protection, but it's doing okay. Massive Communus ricinus, which I should be pulling out, and again, possum damage on my mulberry. I've been thinking about possum soup lately. It's just every day I come out here and yeah, some new growth chewed away, so the brush tails, not a fan. And the pond, which is covered in algae again. I think it's got a leak. Probably in winter I'll take all this out and put an actual proper pond in. But yeah, that is the pumpkin patch. Also the passion fruit ripening up pretty well. No more flowers, so that's about all we're going to get this year. But that'll be good enough. And the dragon fruit, only one variety. And still no flowers, but that's just this year's growth, so not bad at all. Yeah, I got the Cape gooseberry, because last year I just put the seeds everywhere and they're just growing like mad. It's a fun little berry though, so I just keep them. It's better than eating a chili, which we've still got some down there. A little pumpkin in there as well.